live for a while. Appreciate you guys joining me. Oh, I didn't do that very well, did I? Wasn't very smart about that one, but that's all right. I'm still getting set up. So if you're going to catch us on the replay, you know what to do, right? Give us a thumbs up, say hello to everybody, subscribe to the channel, go watch some videos, donate $5 million to our PayPal account. Oh, what's this? Something in my pocket. Stick around, the dancing girls will be here a little bit later in the evening. Still kind of early for them to be here. But this is your chance, your venue. All is welcome. We accept everybody. Still kind of early for them to be here. Whether you good, bad, or ugly. Ugly. All right. While we're waiting, I'm going to have a snack. Probably wind up giving it some of my dog. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to sit out here in what I consider absolutely beautiful weather. Because, it sucks being indoors all the time, so you got to go outdoors at times. And I made some weird food today, so I'm going to try to have a little bit of that while we talk. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let me know who's all here. Give us a thumbs up. And drop a message. Say hello, say goodbye, say see ya, say whatever you like to say. Tonight is all about you. You have thoughts or questions you want to share, problems or issues. Tonight's show is all about how we can benefit you. It's a beautiful evening, by the way, in my part of the world. It's about 90 degrees. It is windy and breezy, but I got my fan on, but it's still pretty breezy. Had to drop the shade because this is, behind me is the west, and we're getting a lot of sun. Think Sun Positive Support. There you go. Nice coming in from the Netherlands. I love the Netherlands. Thank you for being here. We have a lot of followers from your part of the world, so thank you. That's right. We try to be positive. Now, we do have to talk about negatives from time to time because without negative, you can't have positive. So, we welcome everybody in. We don't care where you're from, what you look like, anything like that. Ah, 3:14 a.m. in the morning where you're at. You're having coffee. All right. So now here's my question, because I'm never up at 3 a.m. unless I'm up through the night. Why are you up so early? Are you up to like to go to work? Did you stay up all night? Are you a night shift worker and that's just kind of normal for you? I'm doing pretty good today. I can always be better. I can always bitch and complain and whine about something. But I try not to, even though I could. I really do try not to. I grew up in a family where my dad did that. My dad was always bitching and complaining about something, and I find myself doing it under my breath. I find myself walking around the house when I have a backache or my ankle is acting up, going, oh crap, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt. But I've tried hard over the years not to say it out loud. All right. Well, some people are morning people and some are not. I'm a big believer, and I always, when I was teaching, when I was working, I taught college. I always had my schedule where I didn't have to be at the office before 9 a.m. But I was very lucky and blessed in the fact that I could kind of just let my body wake up naturally. And for the most time, I woke up around 7. I wake up around 8 a lot now, after all these years, even though I stay up really late with my wife, because my wife doesn't get off work until midnight, so I'm usually up. But if you can be blessed enough to where we can let our bodies, which we can't always do, kind of dictate what it needs, whether your body is tired and it needs to sleep. I think that's, healthy for your body. I just don't think it's real practical. So, what type of sports are you into in the Netherlands? What do you do over there for fun in the Netherlands? Do you guys like American sports? My dog has a sneezies for some reason. You all right, Lily? You all right? Come here. No, you're not in trouble. I just want to see your nose. What's under your nose? You got dirt in your nose? Huh? All better? All right. My dog that passed away a while back, at one point we had to take her to the vet, and she had to have nose surgery because you know how dogs like to dig in the dirt. She got a twig stuck in her nose, and we actually had to go up and surgery like a splinter. So it kept getting infected until we had to take her in and have it surgically removed. Lily, our other little dog here that's still alive, obviously, she's been having a lot of sneezes lately, and we don't know why. So we're starting to wonder if maybe she has something in her nose. So we might have to take her to the vet and have her scoped. Ooh. Meme, good morning to you. I'm going to try to be real quiet. I think there's a really rare bird on my fence. Dang it, my hands are dirty. You guys be careful. I'm going to try to show you this bird on my fence. Oh, you guys aren't going to be able to see it. No, I don't think that's what it was, what I was thinking it was. All right, never mind. I thought for a minute it was an American bluebird, which are hard to find and see around these parts. But I think it's too fat. So good morning to you, Meme. Appreciate you coming in. How are you? Yep, you're not number one today. But you'll get there if you keep trying. And the way the sun is setting, I can't tell if that bird is a sparrow or he's blue, so I'm having trouble with them. I ordered new glasses. I had to go get new eyeglasses. Here, let me turn you guys a little bit so you can have something better to look at than. And so I bought new eyeglasses, which were a fortune. So through LensCrafter, I went to go get them this week, and they screwed them up. So I got to go back next week and get them because whoever entered the order in wrong, and they brought me the wrong glasses. So I'm looking forward to having better glasses. These glasses are a good 3 years out of date. So, but thank you both, all of you, both of you, all of you, everybody, for the thumbs up. So, all right, Lily, come on. Sometimes I think the only reason my dog likes me is because I give it food. I wonder if I always wonder, oops, if I quit giving my dog food, would it still like me? Come on, eat, come on. No? All right, it's on you. So, should have brought a paper towel out here, and I didn't do it. So what does everybody have planned? What's going on? We got a busy weekend. Oh, are you scared of the poles? All right, I got you. Hold on. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow afternoon, about 4-ish p.m. my time. We got to go to a Filipino lake party. So one of the girls is having a 40th birthday party. Nisha, I'm doing pretty good, Nisha. How are you today? How's your school going? So yeah, we got to go to a Filipino party tomorrow out at the lake. Some girl's having her 40th birthday party. So I'm going to try to live stream out there, let you guys see what the lake area in America looks like. Maybe some of the campground area, the marinas, where we live at. So you guys want to tune in for that tomorrow. And of course, all of you single men might find all the women interesting. Nisha says, I am good too. Summer vacations. Oh, great. How long is your summer vacation? I always loved summer vacation as a kid. I loved it more as a teacher. 1 month, 4 weeks. Wow. You know, in America, it usually runs about 12 weeks. 10 to 12 weeks is what it runs in America. Meme is German. He's trying to see if we're smart enough to figure out what he's saying in German. But we don't hold that against him, Nisha. We're not going to hold that against him. But yeah, we're going to do a live stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. my time. Lorelei will be on it, and they'll be doing a birthday party and singing and all that stuff. But he is from Germany. He's a good guy. But he's from Germany, so, you know how that is, right? So, But we're doing pretty good, Nisha. We're every day, gets a little easier. So, what time? What? Okay, look at it this way, Nisha. Just back up on your clock 4 hours. So 4 hours ago is when we would have started out at the lake, right in that time. He was a good guy. The big brother language, well, I know you think that. But they're having a party tomorrow, a birthday party, a Filipina birthday party. So, like we have those parties at our house. But they're having this one out at the lake. It's probably going to be hot. Because you're probably going to have a lot of flies and mosquitoes everywhere. So I'm going to be very particular about what I eat. Because I'm not one of these people that like to eat food after bugs have landed on it. So I kind of have an issue with that. So we'll have to see how that goes. And but they're having a big barbecue, I guess, or cookout. And Meme says, I don't think I know that. Well, Meme, what are we going to do with you? We need to find Meme a girlfriend is what we need to do. If you lived in America, you're about the right age. I know a very lovely, nice 21-year-old looking for a man, Filipina. She lives in America. I don't want to, Meme. I don't want to research where English, American language come from. There's a big difference between the English language and American language. A lot of people don't realize that, but there is a big difference. It all roots from Latin, so we all kind of come out of the Latin. So, I know you don't want to. I know. I figured you'd do it for me. Right. No. Well, I actually believe, look, and I don't know. I find I'm not a linguist at all. I can barely speak American. But I think how language has been developed over the years is very interesting. So, especially non-English languages. I can do it for you. It has nothing to do with belief. Well, you never know. Belief is good. So I like how, I just think it's fascinating how people there's a lot of things in all cultures that are the same, I think. There's a lot of things that every culture does that is like every other culture. They may be called something different, right? But, you know, maybe, but they still do the same thing. Or they celebrate a certain time on a calendar, is just called something different. So I like how the fact that there's more of a common bond between communities, cultures, than we think. But then it's really interesting to see the differences, I think. I have heard of the Anglo-Saxons. I have, believe it or not. I have heard of them. I think they're a rock band from the 60s, right? So, and it's the Anglos and the Saxons. So, not Anglo-Saxons. But yes, I have. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Americans? The Native Americans, the Windtalkers? You know? So, I do like how many things are similar, but how many things are different. It's really fascinating to me. And I look at things as this. How something started was, simply put, all right, let me use this as an example about culture or tradition in a culture. You know, in the Philippine culture, little kids will come up. They don't do it as much these days as they used to, but they would come up and they put their forehead on the back of your hand and hold and touch your hand and kind of do this to the old people when they meet you. It's a sign of respect, right? But you got to ask yourself, how did that individual particular thing start? Who was the first person who decided to put their head on the back of a hand as respect? Or was it somebody, in power who said, no, they went to go kiss like in other parts, and somebody went, hey, don't kiss me, just put your head there. How did these things, evolve? Don't make a clown out of it. It's a fact. What's a fact? What's a fact? Everything has to be enjoyable. You can't take any subject too serious. Too serious. If you take subjects too serious, then you're not having any fun. And you got to have fun with things. All right, Nisha, we appreciate you. Yeah, we'll make sure Lorelai's on the live stream tomorrow and says hi to everybody. She'll be there. Got to go. Have a good night. See you, Nisha. Take good care. So I often kind of wonder about those things. Who was the first person that said tipping your hat, was a sign of respect? I know where the saluting comes from, where the knights would raise their visors. But how did that ever translate into being a military thing? Hey, somebody had to go, no, we need to do this. I will say hi to her for sure. I will. So I find that interesting. How did the knights raising their visor become the catalyst for people saluting in the military these days? How did that happen? You know what I mean? I find some of that interesting. How did we get from point A all the way to point T or B or E or F or W or M? How did we get there? Like in the Philippine culture, why do they like to eat with their hands versus, spork and spoon? I know like I'm not an expert in Islam or anything, so I'll probably get this kind of butchered up. But I know they only eat with one hand. I think it's the left hand. They eat with the left hand? No, they eat with the right hand, if I remember right. They only eat with the right hand because the left hand is used to go to the bathroom. Well, as far as we know, my ancestors are from the area of Germany. So we can go back to where we did have some relatives who were, I guess, from Germany, but definitely the region of Germany. You know what I mean? The bigger region. So there, in our DNA, there is a little bit of Irish in there. So now we also have French Cajun. I also have French Cajun. So French and Cajun, because that's what my mother was. My mother was French Cajun. Go 100 or maybe 400 years. That's right. So you go way back in there. We're part of that group. Where you're from. We're part of that region. We are. Where exactly? I don't remember. If they pinpointed it where they could say, you guys originated from here. But from that region. My mother's side of the family was French Cajun, which are basically the French who immigrated from France to Canada, Canada to Louisiana. And that's her side of the family. So I did have a brother who's dead now who looked, and a sister who looked more non-German, let's say that. looked more Cajun, darker hair, stuff like that. And they looked French, more French. So, but who knows? Who knows for sure? You know, I think in the bigger picture, the real question is, and I know this is a debate, where did life begin? I know there's different schools of thought. Some people believe life came out of Africa, which, and then, of course, oh, here's a cool thing. I was watching some of this the other day. I wonder, about the giants that used to live here. So, I think almost every continent that's out there has a history of giants, humanoids that were 7, 8 feet tall, big, tall. Except for maybe the Asian continent. I can't remember about that. But I know Africa had some, Australia, Europe, Americas, has a history of a larger humanoid being at some point in time in their history. Now, a lot of these people think they're aliens, ancient aliens. A lot of people think they were um, what word am I looking for? The motivation for the gods. That's the wrong word. I'm not looking for that word, motivation. The inspiration for the Greek gods, Thor and all those. So there are a lot of people that think that these aliens came down to help civilization. And out of this, people thought the aliens were the Greek gods. And then, of course, there's the other school that the gods and the aliens got in a big fight and blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of kookiness out there when it comes to ancient civilizations. And I don't think we will ever know the truth at all, period. I don't think, nobody would believe the truth. Nobody can believe the truth these days. So you can have smart people, scientists, can say, hey, here's what it is, and nobody's going to believe them. You can have a politician say, here's what, nobody's going to believe. We don't believe anybody these days. It's kind of like I'm a really big fan of Bigfoot. But nobody's going to really believe Bigfoot exists but a handful of us until there's actually a Bigfoot laying on the ground in front of everybody. Well, Meme, I think I understand. A lot of people think, um, America is arrogant. And I understand that a lot of people think that. What I will say, and we don't think everything started with us as a country. We don't believe that. We don't think history started with the Americans. We don't do that. But I will say, Americans know that we won't be bullied. We're not going to take crap off of anybody. You know what I mean? So that gives us a bravado, America, the country, the people, the individuals. We have a very strong bravado. You screw with us, and it's going to be your last days on the earth. We have that. We all have that as Americans. But Americans truly don't think civilization started with us. We know that. We're not that dumb. But if bravado is another way of saying arrogance, then absolutely. And it's something that I am very fond of when a country has. When a country can stand up, and when an individual can stand up and say, if you screw with me, I'm going to knock you down and not take any guff off people. That's what Americans do. And we're proud of it. We have no problems with it. We are a very young country, without question. Our government is very young. Our structures are very young. Our infrastructure, you know, there have been people living in Americas, I believe, thousands of years longer than America was even thought of. So, absolutely, we're a young country. But the people of America, who's made up from people from Germany and everywhere else in the world, when you become an American, and I've seen this myself with people who become U.S. citizens, and you got to ask yourself, one, and I'll throw this out there just to poke the bear a little bit or play devil's advocate. If America is such a horrible country, then why does so many people want to be U.S. citizens, right? But I've seen this. When somebody finally gets to be a U.S. citizen, it changes who they are internally. It makes them prouder, stronger, more resilient. And you can see them stand taller. They walk taller in their shoes now that they are an American because they know that they're part of a group, a family, an organization, whatever you want to call it. They now belong to a very special group that doesn't take shit. So, well, I don't disagree with that. I mean, luckily we escaped Europe, you know, because it'd be a really boring world if America wasn't here. But of course, most of the people, not most, I can't say that anymore. I would say 100 years ago, you could say most of the people in America was from Europe. I would say that. Today, I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can say that. I don't know any stats, but I bet you that that percentage is way lower than we think now. So, because America's becomes has been such a melting pot over the last 100 years, it's unbelievable. It's a very diverse country when it comes to other countries now. Asian countries, India, African countries, South American countries, Canada, and including Europe. But there's been less immigration from Europe over the last 100 years than there was the first 100 years. And so that ratio has swung out of favor for the Europeans. Tim says, hello, hello, Tim, how are you? Good to see you. Yes, Tim, how are you? Good morning. How are things in the Philippines? Meme, I do know why it was founded. And I know there's a difference of opinion, and everybody's going to say it was because of religious persecution and religious freedom. I don't believe that for a word. Meme, say hello to Tim. Tim, say hello to everybody. So I know that's the thing is, hey, we want to escape the king's rule and we want to be able to believe in whatever God and however we want to believe and all that crap. I know that's the historical line, but I disagree with that. America was founded on greed just like everything else. So Bigum says, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Because whether you guys like when I say this, everything is founded on greed. There's a financial component to everything, or there wouldn't be such a thing. I do remember you've been in and out before. We appreciate you. How are you tonight? What's going on in your part of the world? Tim, is it nice and hot in the Philippines this morning? It's about upper 80s, low 90s now here. It's a beautiful evening where we're at. We definitely got some nice winds coming through. I got the ceiling fan on for some extra ventilation. But it's a beautiful evening, so I thought I'd sit outside tonight and try to brave the mosquitoes. I got my Cincinella candles burning, so I'm hoping that doesn't. Well, and I know everybody says that. I don't believe this, it's a fact. Well, but facts, or let me put it this way. I mean, information is subject to interpretation without question. So, what you consider a fact is your interpretation of the information. Now, the majority of the people may or may not believe with you, but even if you got 99.9% of a population who believes the same thing you do believe, it is still not necessarily a fact. It's still an interpretation and a conclusion. Doesn't make anything real a fact. And you got to ask yourself about that about anything. Can anything be factual in the bigger picture of the word factual? Am I sick? No, maybe a little allergies. Maybe I ate a bug. Um, no, I'm not sick. I'm tired. I got to admit, my back's acting up. I'm old. Not tired. Just voice is a little yucky from the weather. Uh-oh, Tim says I'm not good this week. No internet, cable, TV. Oh, crap, Tim, why not? What's happening? Brownouts all week in the Philippines? But Big, I appreciate you asking. We're still sad and depressed over my dog dying. I'm kind of still bummed about that. But, I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to get out of that. So I'm trying to stay busier at the house, trying to get little projects done, trying to be more active. But we'll see. I got a bunch of little projects we need to work on. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. my time. So roughly 4.5 hours before this one started today. We got my wife, we're all going to a Filipino birthday party out at the lake, or the lake right down the road from us here. So I thought I would do a live stream and show everybody what one of our parks and recreational area looks like. So Big says, hello to everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see y'all. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. Me, I'm not interested in learning any language, not just German, but at my age, and you got to understand a couple things. I spent my entire adult life teaching at the college level, reading, learning, and studying. I used to be a smart person, and now I'm not. And at this point, after surviving a coma, I have what I fondly refer to as squishy brain. My brain doesn't work as well as it used to. I have difficulties with things. So at this point in time in life, I have no desire to learn any language at all. I don't have any desire to learn new software programming. I'm still reading some books, but I don't read anywhere near the amount of books I used to read at all. So Bread and Butter's in the house. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. So no offense to German, I just don't want to learn any language. I really don't. Computer, how do you want to learn English? I don't want to learn anything. Everybody's saying hello to each other. That's great. We appreciate that. Appreciate all the thumbs up. So I hope that helps. My brain, after my coma, I've been dead 4 times. I've survived death 4 times. I just don't have it in me. I would like to learn maybe how to cook a little better. I wouldn't mind taking cooking classes. Big says he would like to learn German. There you go. See? But I really don't want to learn a whole lot of anything, to be honest, because I know that I'm no longer smart. I'm just not smart anymore. I'm just not. And when you're not a smart person, it's hard. When you used to be smart, and yes, I will say, yes, I used to be smart, and now I'm not. I have cognitive issues, and I know this, and I know how challenging it can be for me, and so I don't do it. Tim says the internet and cable company is updating. Oh my God. So my cable is not connecting. My modem and router took a dump. Oh my God. That's crazy, man. Yeah, well, welcome to the Philippines. It's more fun in the Philippines, Tim. Big says 4 times. Yes, 4 times. Yes, yes, 4 times. So I was murdered twice in my coma, and and then I died 4 times with getting with heart stuff. So, which I got to change my pacemaker out. You guys want a boob shot? You want to see a sexy boob shot? Can you guys see that? I've lost some weight lately. I don't know if you guys can see, but that's a pacemaker defibrillator right there. I'm hoping it comes out in September. You're using your data now? Uh-oh. Meme is doing the German. He's teaching us Vermeling, which is probably ice cream and cookies. I don't know what that is. Sounds like a sounds like a noodle. Well, Tim, I hope they get everything fixed for you quick in the Philippines, but you know, you never know about that, right? People walking their dogs, getting all the neighborhood dogs fired up. It's a beautiful evening, so everybody's walking and bicycling, is what they're doing. Bark concert, that's it. The good thing is the people are walking fairly fast, so it won't last long, I guess. Yeah, ask the warden to let you out of jail. You served life a couple of times. Yeah, I have. And look, I tell people I'm okay with dying. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't scare me. Living's harder than dying. I will say the hell I went through in a coma I would never want to do. I've been to hell. I lived through hell. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. I'm not afraid of dying. So, yeah. Hell on earth? Well, this is hell in a coma, so yeah, I guess so. Hell is on earth, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I agree with that. Big is asking what do number 2 means? Oh, the letters, I mean the numbers. That's a ranking. YouTube has come out with a new ranking system for all of you wonderful people. The more you super chat, the more you donate, the more you just make comments, or you do the little heart and party hat thing. The more activity you are on a live stream, you get a ranking, you get a crown. It's like Meme always likes to be the number one crown. Number two, you get a crown. So if that's what you're asking, because I can't, yeah, it's a crown. So it's ranking about how active you are on the live stream. It's a new thing YouTube has come out with in the last few weeks. Well, your body can cease to exist. Meme believes that souls are energy and energy cannot die because energy cannot be destroyed. Okay, like this. Yeah, exactly. The more you leave comments and answer questions and ask and say hi to people, the higher your ranking is. And so if you do more than Meme, then you will topple Meme off of his reign and you will become the king. And this is kind of a cool thing, a little bit of a competition. So it's fairly new, about 2 or 3 weeks old, I think. I don't know why they chose my channel to give it to us, but I've noticed on other live streams, I haven't seen it on every live stream, just a handful. Maybe it's because I do a lot of live streams or because I've been doing this a long time. I really don't know. So, but I survived a coma where it was brutal, tortured, and Living's harder than dying. Dying's easy. Well, dying should be easy. I mean, I wish I would have died versus surviving my coma. I went through a coma, and I would have preferred to have died than have gone through that coma. I'll just say that. Well, no, you are not necessarily your body but you are your body while your body is still alive. We are. We are our body while our body is alive. So, that's why a lot of people say sometimes dying's easier because when people get old and they get sickly and they feel bad all the time, they like the concept of getting it over with because they're tired of being in so much pain. So, my wife's not here. My wife's at work. But she'll be live tomorrow. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow afternoon. So about 4 hours earlier than now, out of the lake with friends. Yeah, a lot of people believe that meme. A lot of people don't believe that, but a lot of people believe that your body is just a vessel. The majority of the people believe that the body is a vessel of some kind. So, and the majority of the people think that, who you really are is your soul. A lot of people don't believe in a soul. They just believe that it's an energy source. So it just depends on what your beliefs and how you grew up with. Okay, Big. Sometimes I'm afraid of living. I'm not afraid of dying. Right. I'm not afraid of dying. Now, I'm scared shitless to go do another coma. I was beaten and tortured and murdered twice during my coma. I never want to go through another coma, but I would be happy to not exist when the time comes. Why are you guys doing there? You mean at the lake tomorrow? Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to a birthday party, and it's a Filipino birthday party. It's out at the lake, which is strange. They usually have them in a house. So it's going to be hot. So hopefully for you greedy guys, you'll see a bunch of skimpy women or women running around in skimpy clothes. I don't know. But I just thought I would do a live stream to show everybody from other countries what the lake area and a different part of the country looks like. Meme's asking why would I prefer to die versus living? Biggin says, I am scared. You shouldn't be scared to die. You should be scared of living. I died once, Tim did. I died multiple times from the drugs. Yeah, I understand. I told my nine-year-old son I was putting in for retirement today. I'm 62 this month. Yes, you are. That's right. Next month or next month? I thought it was July. He looked worried and asked me, can you still live here? No, I got to go to a nursing home. Who's nurse? One of my wife's friends. I'm not for sure. I don't pay that much attention, to be honest, because you know how the women are when they all get together and I don't pay that much attention. I'll figure it out tomorrow when I get there. I really don't know which girls is having the birthday. And of course, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, I figured it was from the drugs there, meme, and I know what you mean by that. Pat's in the house. Pat, good evening. How are you, my friend? So, Tim, what was your death experience like? Do you have any knowledge of it? Pat says he's doing it. Everybody say hello to Pat. Pat, say hello to everybody. You guys all got to say hi to each other. That way you can move up the leaderboard and take Meme's crown away from him. Make him number 2 versus number 1 in the chat. So, yeah, I thought you were in July, not June, John. But, you understand nothing. Have a good wave. All right, my friend, take care. Sorry you feel like I don't know anything. You're not the first person to tell me I don't know anything. But At least I can empathize with your plight, And on my channel, you guys are all welcome to express your opinions and your thoughts. So I get it. Drugs are a huge problem in the world. Tim says I died in the dentist chair. Oh shit, that's worse. Pat says hello, Tim. So get some rest. Get some rest. That's pretty bad. Dying in the what kind of drugs? You know, drugs. I think you gotta. I don't think it's like drugs are like food, and kind of like women. Drugs are like food and women. Food's not bad for you unless you overdo it. Women aren't bad for you unless you piss them off. Drugs aren't necessarily bad for you unless they're misused. God, shut up. Jesus Christ. What the hell is that all about? What in the hell? You die well, some people do, especially if they have severe sleep apnea. A lot of people, have health issues, they do. So, Pat's asking, Tim, you died in a dentist chair. Damn, Tim, what happened to there? Pat is saying, hello, Bigums. But I think everything can be good for you. I think everything can be bad for you. So it all depends on how we use it or misuse it in a lot of cases, right, Pat? So I don't think sleep is death. I'm going to have to disagree with you. I absolutely do not think sleep is death. Absolutely not. I think it's your body shutting down, calming down, and resting. Your heartbeat never stops when you sleep, unless you have an illness like sleep apnea, where you can stop breathing and all that. Big O says, hey there, Pat. Pat says, yes. Well, how did you die in the chair? Did they give you too much nitrous oxide? Or sleeping is the cause of death? I don't know about that. I don't think that, meme. I don't think sleeping is the cause of death. I think a lack of sleep can lead to death. I think you can die in your sleep, sure. But I think I don't think it's the cause of death. Because sleeping and your body not existing or not functioning any longer, it's two different things. Because your body is still functioning while you're asleep. Pat likes that and says, yep, that's scary, Tim. And what real you are when you dreaming. And what real? I don't know. I'm not a big dreamer. I've never been a big dreamer. And I have night terrors. So I don't know what realm that would be. I have night terrors about the coma that I was in, but other than that, I don't have dreams. I don't have rainbows and puppy dog dreams. Don't do it. I have night terrors is what I have. So I really don't know. I don't know what happened back then. It sounds like they probably gave you a little bit too much drug and put you under too deep. And maybe it shut down your respiratory system, right? I mean, it's kind of like, if you take too much muscle relaxer, a lot of people think, hey, I'm going to take a muscle relaxer. But if I take too many muscle relaxers, I can relax my muscles so much, my heart relaxes and doesn't function and beat right. So, or my breathing's greatly affected. Big says, I am 10 and I am too young to die, so that's why I am scared to die. Well, I guess I understand why people are scared to die. I understand why people don't want to die. I really do. I get why people don't want to die. But I personally don't believe there's anything to be scared of. I just don't. I've never been a person who's been scared of people. I'm just not a big scaredy guy. So even in my after coma life, things don't really bother me. They don't scare me. And, because what are you going to do to me? Eat me? I mean, if I'm dead, you know what I mean? If I'm dead, I'm dead, right? So why be scared of something that I'm not going to know about? You know what I mean? If that's how I look at it. Why be scared of dying? Because when you die, you're not going to know about it. You're not going to be scared anymore. Only had the Novocaine. Dang, Tim, that's crazy. Memes asking or saying, one of the two, if you're half asleep, you can remember your dreams, right? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a dream expert. I read a book about dreams one time years ago. I had this female friend of mine was really into tarot cards and dream interpretation and all that type of stuff. And I read a book about how to interpret dreams, but I don't know. I just don't dream unless it's a night terror. So I really don't know. But I got a feeling the majority of the people dream. I do. I think it's REM sleep, maybe, when your eye movement is doing all this. I can't remember. I learned that a little bit when I had a sleep study done 15 years ago, but I studied up on sleep and sleep patterns 15 years ago, but that was years ago, and I haven't bothered to look into it since. Tim says, I don't dream very much that I remember. So if he's dreaming, he doesn't remember them. And I think if I remember right, most people don't remember but just fragments of their dream. So if I understand it right, most people don't wake up and go, wow, I just dreamt that I was driving a 1968 Cadillac going down Route 101. I passed a yellow Volkswagen Bug that had some blonde-headed girl in it wearing a blue bathing suit. And I saw a cow sitting on the road that was a black and white Jersey, and at mile marker, blah, 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 blah. They don't remember all of this. I don't think they do that. I don't think that's what most people do. Meme says there's an energy within you, that can never die. It's called a soul. A lot of people believe that. I think depending on what part of the world you're from, it's called something different. But I think probably, I don't know, I would say 90% of the population believes that theory about a soul. I would think that. I think all religious groups have a version of it. Big says, I don't want to die because then I'll probably go. If I die too young, I will have to wait for a long time for my family to go to heaven. I don't agree with that, Big. I don't agree with that. I don't think you will have to wait. And what I mean by that, I don't think when you die, you are aware of the passing of time. I don't think time exists when you die. Pat says, when I had that mini stroke, I was at the hospital, stayed overnight, and went to bed, not for sure if it was a dream, the TV or static. There's no one in the hospital. Saw myself lay on the bed. Wow. Saw yourself laying on the bed? Yeah. Not sure if it was the medicine done me in. Well, and I do think a lot of medicine makes you hallucinate or can cause you to drift into different states of consciousness. I do. It probably didn't help my coma any. So, I don't know. I think it's whatever you believe, whatever you feel. If you feel like it was an out-of-body experience, then that's what it was. If you feel like you were just tripping on some drugs, well, then that's what it was, and that's okay. Is how I see it. I don't believe, in my world, puppy dogs and rainbows. There's no right or wrong when it comes to this stuff. Everybody's right and everybody's wrong, because when somebody disagrees you, then automatically somebody has to be wrong. So not everybody can be right and not everybody's wrong. Nobody's right or wrong, it doesn't really exist. Pat says, scared the piss out of me. Well, at least, Pat, one thing I'll say is, if it scared the piss out of you, at least you didn't have to get up and go to the bathroom anymore. So, I'll tell you a funny story if you guys want to hear it in a minute. Energy cannot be reduced, only converted. All right, can you still hear me? Okay. Sometimes the phone catches. Energy cannot be produced, only converted. That's not a belief, it's a fact. See, once again, you're saying it's a fact from your perspective and has nothing to do with the drugs stuff. See? And your fact for you is okay. So it's okay if you feel that that's a fact for you, but others are going to disagree with you and they're going to say, well, in my world, the fact is this instead. And that's okay. It's all right. And I really believe that there's enough room in the I don't know what you want to call it, in the realms for everybody's personal beliefs. I really do. I don't necessarily think anybody's right or wrong. I really don't. I think it's more important what you believe. I really do. I believe that. If you truly believe it and you live it, then it's right for you, and that's okay. Because in the end, for me, none of it matters. Right, Brother David? Could have been the meds. Could have been the meds. It could. You never know. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, my coma could have been due to the meds. I don't know. I was in the coma before I got to the hospital, apparently, but because mine started off in the house. I collapsed in my house and was unresponsive. The only reason I'm alive today, to begin with, is, oh, you're alive. Lorelai's in the house. Everybody say hello to Lorelai. Butter says, when I drink H2O2, water, hydrogen peroxide, food grade peroxygen, I have lots of dreams. Puts oxygen into the body. It does. It can. I've heard other people talk about that. I think you got to be careful about that. But yeah, I think you can. I think if you oxygenate your blood and get it a higher oxygen level than it normally would be, I think it can affect your being, of course. It's a physical thing. Pat says hello, Lorelai. Yeah, I know, but we don't really know. That's just something that we all came up with, right? That was developed. The first sentence of energy conservation rate is energy can neither be generated or destroyed. Well, that's what we believe, but how do we know it's really true? We don't. We don't. We're speculating, if you want to play devil's advocate, we're speculating that based on what we think we've observed and what we think we know. But we could be all inside of a snow globe sitting on somebody's desk, an alien desk and a snow globe, and there is no anything. So I know you keep thinking it's a fact. The season why you're still alive. Oh, the reasons are the reason, not season. Why you're still alive because your wife has technology in your house and loves me. Well, that's true. I was getting there. That was down the road a tiny bit. Other brother David, the girl is talking to me some. Ah, did you hear that, Lorelai? The girl is talking to Pat. Good. Earlier. Nice. Chicken nuggets are not good for you unless it's a nugget out of a chicken. Correct. You don't know it. That's correct. That's my point, meme. Nobody knows it for absolute certainty. A lot of people believe it and will say, my hat is round as a fact when it's not. You know what I mean? So that's good. Well, I don't know where it's come from. I don't know, meme, where it comes from. Pat, she's been working a lot in the grocery store. Oh, good. So she has a job, Pat. That's good. Oil, wind, generator. Yeah, you can create, you can. My point is, we don't know if this is not all, like Craig says, a big old simulation. We don't know anything for sure. We just don't. Everything's converted. I agree. Everything's converted into something else without question. Period. But it all has to originate somewhere. So Pat saying, yes, it's good that his new woman friend is working a lot. So that's how I look at it. I don't think, there's a lot of brilliant minds, but we don't know if our brilliant scientists that we think are so smart really are. We don't know if any of the so-called world religious leaders have their shit together. We don't know anything. We have, and I don't care how many times you say something's a fact, or yes, I do know it. No, we really don't. We don't know anything for sure. We just know what we've been taught by somebody else who came before us. That's all we know. We know what somebody else is coming. But I was going to say, Lorelai, before I was going to get to the point about you, the reason I was still alive was because my heart didn't stop when that happened. The pacemaker that I have that I got to get changed kept pumping the heart. So if it wasn't for having a pacemaker in the chest, everybody, then no matter how many cameras would have been there, I would have died on that couch. Where does the originator come from? Who knows? Who knows? We don't know. That's kind of my point, me. Where does the original anything come from? Where did the original plant come from, or the star, or the sun? We truly don't know anything for sure. We have a lot of guesses, but we don't know anything for sure. All right, Tim, be safe. I hope your internet and your TV gets back up and running. I hope they don't say that we're updating your TV and it's going to take 12 years, But keep paying your monthly payment while we wait for your TV to upgrade. So good to see you. I hope you have a great day there in the Philippines, Tim. So that's kind of how I look at it. We don't know anything for sure. One thing that's the only thing I know for sure is that I don't know, period. That's it. I don't even know for sure that my dog's going to take a shit again. We don't know that. Is it likely that she will? Sure. But do I know that she will? No, I don't know that. So, Pat, what have you and the young lady been chatting about? Anything good? Bread says, once I got in big trouble when I said, you think? Your heart didn't stop because there's a power that kept you. Yeah, a battery operated power. Right here. I get it changed out in September. Oh my God, it's going to take a month? Holy crap. You better get one of Elon Musk's Starlinks. and have a satellite in your house so you can get everything you need, man. Yeah, my source of life was the battery operated pacemaker. So that was my source of life. But what is the source of life? We don't know. We all have a theory. You believe one thing, the Catholics believe another, Pat believes something else. The folks that, the Buddhists believe another thing. I mean, everybody believes something different. So is everybody else wrong and I'm the only one that's correct? It would be foolish, I think, for me to run around saying I'm the one who knows. And this is what I don't like about organized religion. They run around going, I am the only one that knows, and you need to follow in line with me or you all are doomed. By the way, please give us some money. I hope to go a good place in heaven. You will. And if you believe that you're going to go to heaven and that heaven's a good place, then you will go there. That's how I believe. If you believe that there is no heaven and you just float up, your spirit goes to the moon and stays there and is recycled back into America or back into the planet, then you will. If you believe that you will be transformed into a tree, then that's what you're going to happen. And that's okay. Perfectly okay to believe all of that or any of it. I think when it comes to religion, I do think all religions have parts that are correct and they have a lot that's incorrect. Dennis, there is an arm candy afterlife. If there is, you be going there, buddy. And so for you, you're going to go to Planet Arm Candy. And they're going to be all hot Filipinas and Colombia women. And they're going to serve your every need. So heaven and hell is a state of mind. It is. It's a state of mind. A lot of times we get ourselves into that state. Diabetic heaven, too much candy? Yeah. Well, no. Or if you go to arm candy heaven and there's too much candy there, would they send you to diabetic hell for for the temptation, for not resisting the temptation of all the candy? Wouldn't that kind of be it? Wouldn't you be like, see, we brought you to arm candy heaven and you couldn't control yourself, so now we're sending you to diabetic hell, you know? Or they're gonna make poor Dennis, get married to one woman. His hell is getting married to one ugly woman, you know. So you just don't know. You don't know. We're gonna have a party. We're not having a party. So you guys can join us tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to try to do a live stream out at the lake. One of Lorelai's girlfriends is having a birthday party that we have to go to. So, Dennis, you might see some arm candy out the lake. I don't know. Meme's asking, what you believe in this 3D world you become? I agree. I agree. Pat has 2 girlfriends right now. Pat, Lorelai's asking, which of the 2 girlfriends do you like the best so far? I think, for the most part, life is up to you. I agree. Pat, come on. Which one's prettier? Let's start with the basics for Pat. I think they're both in Cebu. Pat, aren't they both in Cebu? Yeah, Pat has 2 hotties after him. Which one's prettier, Pat? Oh, Pat. Oh yeah, all right. So Lorelai wants me to make sure everybody remembers that we're doing some fundraising. We don't need a lot. We're going to do some fundraising so that we can buy Karen, their family, the island where they're from. We're going to try to buy some ramen noodles and some ingredient. We're going to try to buy a bunch of dry goods to give to some really poor families on Cavite Island or Comodes? Commode Island? I don't know. Some little island that's very poor. So Lorelai's reminding us, if anyone wants to donate to the PayPal, please do. And Dennis, we thank you for your last one. So you don't have to. But we're going to try to raise a couple $100 more so that we can buy a bunch of dry goods to give to these families so they have food to eat. People like themselves. Do you attract what you are? The same frequencies. I agree with that. I agree with that. Uh-oh. Pat likes Lorelai's twin right now, the better one. Why? Why do you like her better? Good vibrations. If you become an addict, alcohol or drugs, you reincarnate in the 3D world. Well, I don't think you can trust anything that you see or that happens when you're on drugs. I don't think that's reality. Yep, that's Michelle's cousin. He said the sexy one. No, he said the one that looks like, oh God, I'm going to get in trouble. Now I get it. All right. Pat, you almost got me in trouble because I was going to say, no, he didn't say that. He said the one that looks like you, not the sexy one. So now, Pat, you better get us out of the ditch. No, the other girl, she's pretty too. Well, here, let me get everybody caught up. Pat, what I will say is this. Lorelai and I know the other girl. Well, we don't know her. But remember, she's the cousin of somebody that lives right over there. She's the cousin of Jovan, or she's the cousin of Jovan's wife. So we have, even though we've never met her in person, even though she has 3 kids, we highly recommend her. I guess that's the way to look at it. She comes from good stock. Which one do you favor, Pat? 3 kids or 2 kids? Hey, Meme, what you up to? Bread and butter. Lorelai saying hi to you guys. She said we have the same in common, the other girl. Show the photo. I can't, Dennis. My iPad's dead. Hang on, maybe. I'll tell you what, give me a second to try to charge my iPad. And I'll see. Well, maybe Pat can do it. Because my iPad's dead. I'll try. Meme croissants. There you go, Dennis. Help me pick one, right? Yes, I remember. I don't use drugs. Good. I use drugs every day. I take drugs every day. Which one you like most, the 25-year-old or the other one? I like her and the 3 kids. Okay. Which you like more? Come on. Lorelai's pushing you, Pat. The other girl is 42. Lorelai's going to send you the picture, Dennis. Thank you, Lorelai. Because I can't do it right now. Pat likes the 25-year-old who has 3 kids. Good. All right, the 25-year-old. Nice. Bread and Butter says, hi, Adventures of the Filipino-American Couple. And, yeah. All right, see, we made headway. Now we know which girl Pat prefers. I like the 25-year-old. She got sick this morning. Bread says, like The one that's less mean. Yes. No, you're right. Get the nice one. Yes, the brother, 25-year-old. Ah, okay, good. Lorelai says that's good. Why do I take drugs? Oh, God. I take drugs for my heart failure, my lung issues, my God, my feet, my knee. Hell, a lot of it's heart medicine. Man, yeah. I don't know. I can't remember everything they're for. I gave up trying to remember what I take drugs for. I just take them. Because I've had so many things in my body over the years, I don't really care anymore. I'm a metformin addict. A metformin addict? Pat says he's taking a lot of meds now. Well, medicines are drugs. You know, everything is a drug, everything is a medicine. Just depends on how you use it. I would agree with that. Lorelai has a good point, Pat. But I think both girls are interested in Pat. But whichever one that wants you the most, you want to go with. And why we say that is even though we don't know the 42-year-old, we know that the 25-year-old's not going to be a user and abuser, right? So we can safely say go for the one that finds you the most intriguing if it's her. It's a feeling drug. Ah, all right. I didn't know that. All right. Dennis, take both, Pat. They average out to be 33 years of age. There you go, Dennis. That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to do it, Dennis. Is that kind of like the old strategy of divorcing your 36-year-old for two 18-year-olds or something like that? There's an old joke. I can't remember exactly how it went. So, good for you, Pat. You just keep at it. The right one will shake itself out. I believe that. But that's all we can say is we know the family that the 25-year-old comes from. Karma is a Bitcoin. God. Oh, Lorelai. Yes. When is the sun going down? Isn't that a song? Isn't that a song? When the sun goes down on me. I don't know. The sun's already down. It's nighttime here. See? I'm just backlit by the door light. See? That's why it looks like we're in the sun. See? My pretty landscaping. Those are all of my servants' houses over there. You see all of those? That's where our housekeeper lives. Over there, that's our housekeeper. That's where my driver lives. That's where the lady that does my laundry lives. So, well, I don't know, Dennis. I don't have an update. There's the only update I know is this. Is I think he's planning to go. I think he was saying in October, but he did say something the other day that it may get pushed back. I know she's kind of excited but nervous about him coming. So I don't know. I haven't seen either one of them in the last few days or talked to either one of them in the last few days. But I guess it's still going okay. I don't really know though for sure, Dennis. Meme is dropping a link to something. Bread says, I chose a wife with a college degree from a poor family. Can't teach rich Filipina to live poor. If something, I agree with that. Still the same. They would decide. Yep, we meet in person. She asked when you're coming. You told her next year, right? Yep. Yeah. Well, but being from the province is what he's getting at. She's a college grad, but she's right. But I know what you mean. She's from Cebu. I can't. I'm on a live stream. I can't listen to the song. I can't interrupt it. I can't. And my iPad's not charged. So if I listen to it, then it shuts everything down. So I can't listen to it. Well, I don't think it's too early to ask. I think it's a good question. It's like, well, when are you going to come to the Philippines? I'm like, well, I don't have a plan to come here ever. Then why would I talk to you? So I don't think it's too early. Meme is saying, all right, everybody, good night. It's time for bed. I've been up all night enjoying life, but you guys have been fun. You guys have been real. It's time for me to go. Bye-bye. Everybody say goodbye to Meme. Thank you, sir, for being here. Lorelei says, I'm going back to work now. Good. Earn that money. See you later. I think so. Yes, Pat. I think she's from Cebu, too. My Meme from Butter. Yeah, I think she is. I think she is. I don't know her. I've never talked to her, but I have. I've heard Michelle talk about her and Lorelei. So, but I've never talked to her. But if you guys hit it off, like I told you the other day, if everything goes well, then just jump at it. Yes, Dennis says, in Puerto Verde, where all the hot Spanish women are, 4 to 5 hours away, same time zone, that's correct, from Dennis. The travel time and change to Asia is the pain. It is. It is. And you and I talked about that one time, Dennis. Look, you're better off not doing that. Because I agree with you. It's like, I'll tell you guys, for instance, we plan on going back to the Philippines in the year 2027. We need to take care of a little bit of business. We do want to visit some friends. But it's such of a long journey. You got to spend about a month there to make it worthwhile. Well, what are we going to do for a month in the Philippines that we haven't already done, right? So I came up with this concept and floated it by our friends the other day that are Filipino. Why don't they go with us to the Philippines? Because they want to see their mom and dad. They're the ones that just got back from their wedding there. So why don't they go with us? Maybe we'll stay 10 to 14 days max in the Philippines. And then we're going to fly either to Australia and take a cruise, or we're going to Singapore, Hong Kong, and take a cruise and then fly back to America from our cruise destination. And that way you get, a good month out of America, or almost a month, justify such a long flight, but it gives you something worth doing versus sitting around doing nothing in the Philippines. Yep, it takes 2 weeks to adjust. It can. So that's kind of what we were thinking so far, is that we may try to go over, but only spend half the trip in the Philippines and go somewhere else, and take a 10-day cruise like throughout Australia. We're going to go to Craig's house. He already said we could, and or like I would prefer to go to like Singapore, Hong Kong, all of those places, and on a cruise ship. So. And then you fly home, and maybe you would make it worth the trip worth it, because man, it's a long journey. It takes time to recuperate from that, and it's definitely not worth going over for a week or 10 days. It's just not. It's just not worth it. So, and Dennis, since you can find all of the arm candy you want in your own time zone, that's only 4 to 5 hours away. Well, that's a smart thing to do. You know, I tell guys all the time, you got to be smart about this, right? And for you, smart thing to do is hook your horses to them South American wagons, is what I encourage, and see how it goes from there. So, but yeah, I think. But back on Henry and them, I think they're doing okay. Um, I don't know if it will actually happen, but I think I think they're doing okay. I don't know. And Pat's going over there next year, and he's lining up a hottie now. And his brother went over this year, and he's engaged. Trying to figure out if that was a storm or somebody. Might have been somebody letting off fireworks. No budget. I got you. I don't blame you. It's too much of a physical budget. It's a hard trip. And Dennis is partly what I've been telling Pat. Pat has to get himself in good health, good shape to go over there again. Because I believe you need to physically be in pretty good shape to enjoy the Philippines. So, yeah, And I don't know. I saw a thing today that talked about the 3 countries that had the most beautiful women in it, and the Philippines was number 3. Do you guys want to take a guess on the other 2 and which one was number 1? So there's 3 countries that have been ranked as having the most beautiful women. The Philippines came in at number 3. Far as I know, his relationship is working. The brother, yes. Colombia, no. Nope, sorry. Nope, nada. Nada, 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 nada. Nada, nada, nada. Not a Colombian in the house. So, which I don't know if they were on the honorable mention list or not, but they didn't make the top 3. But we're excited for Pat. We're excited for Henry if he follows through. If he follows through and gets to go to the Philippines. Um, um, but I don't know if that will happen, to be honest. So I don't know. I do think in Henry, and I've talked to Henry about this a little bit, I do think they come from 2 different worlds. And I'm not for sure if those 2 different worlds can function together. I don't know if you could have somebody, for instance, in general, who believes in religion and somebody who doesn't believe in religion. I don't know if those 2 are too far away in the pond. You know what I mean? I always talk about fish in your own pond, but I don't know. Culture differences are one thing, but religion is a gigantic factor in relationships. The culture change, as you know, it is huge. Yes. Yes. I got to watch my heart since the minestrone. Got strength, more energy. Good have you do. Right. Yes. All right. So number 2 was Japanese women on our list of top 3 most beautiful women in the world. Number 2 is Japan, And number one was who? It is culture shock, but I think you can get over culture shock, right? Dealing with the different culture is very difficult, very difficult. But dealing with a different belief system is even harder. Well, that's the most common phrase every expat needs to know. No budget. Number one words I teach expats. No budget. How do you want to speak Filipino? No budget. Number one word. Here, first thing you need to learn, no budget. No budget. They say it, and we should say it back to them. That's why I teach expats. Says, oh, you like to date a Filipino? Great. Here's something that's very important for you to say a lot. No budget. Because they understand it. When they want something, that's right. When they want something or they want somebody to pay for something, I always say, they either say, somebody comes up to them and says, I would really like to have a red ribbon, or you want to go to red ribbon, they go, well, no budget. Or if they want you to buy them red ribbon, they say, I have no budget for red ribbon. Now, a smart American says, well, I understand. Okay, I understand you don't have any money to eat red ribbon. So, okay, I understand. No worries. Because what they're doing is fishing. They want to say, oh, yes, I would like to have red ribbon, but I have no budget. And they're hoping you will go, well, I will cover it. That's what I wanted in the first place. And they could have just said, why don't you buy it and I'll come and eat with you. That's right, Dennis. That is right. But I do think culture shock's a huge one, big factor. But I really believe belief systems are the hardest thing to get over in a relationship. If you don't have a common belief, because that's deeper than culture. Culture can be changed. Culture can be worked on. Well, no, they don't ask, they hint. They hint, oh, that red ribbon looks really good. It's just too bad I have no budget. Hint, 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 hint. Oh, look at that beautiful ring. It's just too bad I have no budget. You know, Dennis knows what I'm talking about. Japan had second nuclear event and are still having a full nuclear meltdown for years. Yes. Gentleman knows his lady's needs. Yes, Dennis knows what I'm talking about. Dennis knows exactly what's going on with that. You know. Dennis and I have been around the block more than once. You know. And what's funny is I like to tell Americans when they say, oh, you know, that red ribbon looks really good, but I have no budget. The best thing you can really do is say, okay, I understand. Stay here and I'm going to go eat red ribbon all by myself. You know, oh, that's too bad. Oh, you can't afford to go eat? Well, then you don't, you know, from an American standpoint, somebody says, you know, I can't afford to go out and eat. And you say, well, okay. I'll see you next week, buddy. You know. Oh, yeah, I'd like to go fishing with you, but I can't afford it. Well, all right. Well, I understand. We'll see you later. You know. Well, good to know, David. Who's hitting you? Who's hitting you? I don't ask since I can buy for myself, even before. Oh, Lorelei. What? I don't know what she's talking about, Pat. I have no clue. I don't know who's hitting me. Yeah, Mrs. Pack is on fire. She's probably wanting the budget increased. I have no clue what she's talking about, Dennis, to be honest. Lorelei just buys anything and everything she wants. I'm the one who has to sit here with a 15-year-old hat that's tore up, see? See, I wear old beat up hat that's tore up, you know. Oh, yes. Pat says, yes, I understand now. So, yeah, about you and Dennis, no, since you experienced it way before. Ah, oh. Man, Dennis and I are old people. We've been around this world. We've traveled the world, sailed the seven seas, seen the sunrise and the sunset. We've heard it all. We've heard it all, Miss Lorelei. Miss Pack, we've heard it all. Like the cake experience for you to buy. Oh, I don't know. I was making that one up. No, nobody. It's hypothetical. It's all hypothetical. No, 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 no. You never wanted red ribbon. You liked Goldilocks better. It's all hypothetical. If you want, I'll buy a lot. I'll buy it, even though I was single. Well, tell us, Mrs. Pack. Yes, like a cakewalk. It's a piece of cake, baby. Baby, it's a piece of cake. But there's no budget for it. Just telling you. Just telling you. I don't know what Lorelei's talking about, y'all, just so you know. All I'm doing is repeating what I've heard. I've heard people say, you know. I've heard it all. Walking with cake. Would that be a cakewalk? If you got when you go to the bakery and you buy a cake and you start walking with it, is that a cakewalk? You know? So we've heard the stories, Lorelei. We've all heard the stories. Dennis has told me. Dennis is the one who did it, Lorelei. You know, you got to blame Dennis, not me. Dennis is the one who did it all. Dennis is the one trying to cause trouble. Just saying. Oh, man. I get new glasses next week. Cause you keep saying no budget. Like, damn, the person, I don't want to hear it. Even I don't ask. No budget. What? I don't understand that part. Keep saying no budget because there is no budget. Because budget, oh, damn the person. I don't want to hear it. Even I don't ask. I don't know. Dennis is the menace. I don't know. Dennis the menace. He is. Dennis is the troublemaker. He is, I'm telling you. Everybody agree with me that Dennis is the troublemaker? There is no budget. We have no budget. We're trying to save our budget to buy Filipino food for the poor in the Philippines. We have no red ribbon cake budget. So there'd be no cake in this house. Unless it's cheesecake. Because we gotta buy food for the Philippine people. It's irritating when someone says, when someone keeps saying no budget, even I don't ask. Well, who does that? Who keeps saying that there's no budget? No budget, no budget, no budget, no budget. If I'm single, then I'll say keep yourself. Mrs. Pack is on fire. Mrs. Pack doesn't like the fact that I say we don't have the budget, that we're poor. I try to remind Mrs. Pack that we're poor, and, even if she doesn't ask, I remind her that we're poor. But she just got something pretty the other day, so I don't know what she's complaining about. And she got a bunch of new clothes the other day. So I don't know what she's complaining about. Now, she did a good job finding them for $5 at J.C. Penney because they were on the pink sale. If that's happened to me, about an example about a guy dating and keeps saying no budget. Yeah, I understand. So if you're a single girl and a guy runs around saying no budget all the time, even though you don't ask, I agree, that's probably a red flag from a single female standpoint, right? Or maybe that guy is just heard horror stories and he's trying to reestablish or establish the boundaries. I don't know. When you and I were dating, I never mentioned the words no budget, now did I? So, yeah, I understand. I understand. That's right. Dennis says, just tell him no honey. If there's no money, there's no honey. You know? So, but yeah, I would agree. From a female standpoint, if I'm dating somebody and the guy immediately starts telling me I don't have any money for that, depending on what I ask for. I mean, if I'm asking, you know, for, some Jollibee and it says there's no budget, then there's a big, gigantic red flag. But if you're asking to go on a 3-day holiday where you're going to live like 5-star luxury in a luxury hotel and eat and spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars or $1,000 in the Philippines, well, I can understand say, no, there's no budget. We need to reel that back and go to a different one. Women want security / money, a form of security. Yes, I agree. Meme is back. I guess he didn't go to bed. What is, I don't know. I can't click on the link. They try to copy me? Well, that's all right. A true lady loves someone will not do high demand. If demanding, it's just an, I agree. There's a weird noise out here. There's a weird noise in my neighborhood. It may have been a Bigfoot. I go to bed. You mean you're going to go to bed now? It's 5 a.m. here. I just woke up. Oh, you just woke up. All right. I figured you stayed up all night. You know. What in the hell is that? All right. I don't know what that was. It's not a bullfrog. There's a weird noise going on. Meme says, I'm just an AI, not a human. That's all right. We don't discriminate against artificial intelligence on this channel. We accept all. I think it's a bird. It's getting further away, so I think it's a bird. I don't know. I think it's a bird. I don't know. That's interesting what that was. lady loves someone does not depend. Yeah. If a woman truly loves you, she doesn't care about how much money you have or how much money you don't have. You know, when Lorelai and I were dating, one thing I can say about her, she never asked me for a dime. So, you know, you got a good woman. It's like Pat. Pat's talking to the 25-year-old. The 25-year-old has a job. She's working to try to support her 3 kids. Woohoo! Dennis says I gotta get some sleep tonight because Miss Columbia is flying into the PV tomorrow. Wow, you gonna spend the weekend together? It was a wolf pack. Yeah, maybe. It might be a wolf pack. It doesn't sound like wolves, though. I can hear some bullfrogs and crickets out from the distance. But this sounded like, I don't know, a water bird. She's coming in for 15 days? Wow, congratulations. That'd be nice, Dennis. Are you taking time off or you still got to work during the 10 days? Sweet over sour used cologne, yes, sweat. Sweet over sour cologne, yes, you know. We're going to Texas in a couple weeks, and we're going to hang out with my Canadian sister-in-law. Yeah, we're going to go to Texas in a couple weeks to my brother who's married to a Canadian. So I'm gonna have to put up with you Canadians. It's all right. Bread and butter, it's all right. It's all right by me. I wonder what that is. It's not a screech owl. Has to be some kind of bird. Cologne is a city near you? It is. I will accept the used designer bag, Dennis, if she wants to get rid of it. Did you hear that, Dennis? Lorelai says, if you're thinking about buying the woman designer goods, you got to get one for Lorelai, or she'll be happy to take the used one. Pat says, if me and my brother goes to the Philippines, it might be 10 days in the Philippines or 2 weeks. Well, I would go for the longest you can, Pat. Cologne Street, yeah, they're in the Philippines, right? That's where all the knockoff garbage stuff is. Yeah, your brother stayed there 2 weeks the last time. So Meme is throwing out some fancy German words. Dennis says, okay, Mrs. Pack, I will let you know. We will send you the King Louis in the mail. Right on. Yeah, if you're going to go, truly, that's what I was saying earlier. We got to go back in 2017, take care of some paperwork. So, but spending a whole month there when you've already been there, done that, it's kind of like, why don't we just spend a couple weeks there, then we head off to like Australia, New Zealand, and or Singapore or Hong Kong or something like that. So, and since unlike a lot of you young people, I'm not going there to chase women folk. Nisha's in the house, Lorelai. Lorelai, Nisha's back. The legend, Nisha, yes. German words. Hello, Dennis. Lorelai's here somewhere, Nisha, in the background. There is the thing again. Maybe Lorelai had to go back to work. There she is. Pat saying hello to you. Nisha, me, legend. Yes, you're the legend. You're the role model for all young people. I've been live for 2 weeks, never seen you. Uh-oh. Thank you, Dennis. Never mind. Oh, man, what are you doing? What did you say earlier? Did I miss something you did? Fancy German words. That's right. Is what I said. There's the new thing again. Nisha saying hello, getting everybody. Yes, you are, Nisha, a legend. You're the legend and role model for all young people, even for me. Nirvana, that's a band in America. I think his name's Dave, right? Isn't the leader of that this guy's named Dave like me? Well, I thought you didn't do any lives. Lorelai, Nisha thought you weren't doing lives. Well, she hasn't done one in a while. She did one last Friday or Saturday, I think. But she wasn't doing them like she did over Christmas. She's pretty and she's smart. Nisha says, thank you, Dennis. So she is pretty and smart. Does that mean that she's smartly pretty or pretty smart? Lorelai says, Nisha, I only do midnight live streams just so I can hang out with you. Nisha's on school break right now. She's off for a month, is what she told me earlier. Kurt Cobain, he's dead. When you going to do your next one, Lorelai? I thought you were busy, so she wasn't doing them because she thought you were busy in school. Dave Cobain? No, Kurt Cobain, Dave Nirvana. Thank you so much, because Dave Nirvana is the guy on the Tattoo Show as a judge. Thank you so much. Nisha is beauty and brains. Nice. I've been told that's what I am. Kurt Cobain's not dead? Nah, he died a long time ago. Lot to take in. Oh, so Nisha's arm candy. Never mind. Oh, you're doing the whole not dead thing again. I got you. No, his body doesn't exist. How's that? Does that help you out? It doesn't. His body doesn't exist anymore. He died of a drug overdose, if I remember right. Kind of like all the others. Nisha Dennis has a sexy and gorgeous fiance. Woo, yes. And she might if she becomes an adult. She will be. Really, Dennis? Yes, yes. Dennis has himself a piece of arm candy. She's going to come and visit him for a couple of weeks. She comes into town, I think, tomorrow. They'll be doing wedding bells before you know it, and we're all going to get invited. And Dennis is going to be nice enough and fly all of us to his wedding. He's going to pay for it all. You know, Dennis wants to clarify we're not engaged. Yeah, Dennis lady is a package deal. Yes. I wonder how the professor and his fiance is getting along. I wonder if they're still doing good. Oh, sorry, not engaged yet. Crap. We'll be soon. Don't worry, be happy. Pat wants to come to the wedding too, Dennis, so you can probably just get him an ordinary ticket, but Lorelai and I demand first class tickets. So, just throwing that out there for future reference. So that way you can put it in the budget. Yeah, we need first class tickets to Canada, or Colombia, or wherever you're going to have your destination wedding. So we will need first class tickets. Just throwing that out there. And accommodations, you know. Yes, first class, that's right. Why fly anything but first class when somebody else is buying your ticket, right? You know. I agree with everybody. Sounds good. Pat likes it. She's a keeper. See, that's good. Lorelai says, after I get my new ring, we just saw what? Wait, everybody slow down a second. After I get my new ring we just saw last week in Sam's Club, has cheaper but pretty diamond. What? New ring. Can you imagine that the state of mind can heal broken legs without a doctor? Yes. I don't think your mind can heal anything. I think your body can heal itself, and I think your mind can put you in a positive mood about it. And I think if you're in a positive mood and you try to do, and maybe it's the same thing, thinking positively and working at it, then your overall can help yourself. But do I think you can have two broken legs and sit here and go and do nothing else but use your mind to think your legs are going to heal? No, I don't think that. I think you could sit here and over time your legs would heal, the breaks would heal, but they're not going to function very well. She looks smart too. She does look smart. But after I get my new ring, what new ring? What are you talking about? You just got a new ring. How many new rings do you need? Dennis has already said, I can't buy you any more jewelry. What I meant is in Sam's Club has cheaper and pretty diamond, but we already got mine last year. The price so far. That's right. Dennis said, I can't buy you any more jewelry, Lorelai. Must be because she likes me. There you go. Yeah, anybody who would put up with Dennis has to be a keeper. When I was younger, had a lot of broken bones. Yeah, me too, man. That's exactly what I did in the last 2 weeks. I healed my broken leg. Good. I'm glad you're feeling better anyway. Diamond and Sam's are larger. Okay. Well, all right, I'll believe you. But how many diamonds do you need? That's the question. And I'm running. And I'm running like never enough. All right. So Meme is up and running. Kuya Dave. Hey, Kuya, how are you, buddy? How's things in Alabama? Everybody say hello to Dave for me. Dave, could you just read your allergy of hearing jewelry? I know I'm allergic to the word jewelry. Jewelry, man, I get the hives, you know. I didn't say I need one. Just save if we were no. I know, I get it. I understand what you're saying. It was the ring that we bought you a while back was cheaper in Sam's Club. I get it. I understand. You know, I'm just saying, how many diamonds does a girl need? You know, that's all I'm asking. Oops. I'm just asking questions. That's nothing to do with you, Mrs. Pack. Hi, Dave. Meme is laughing at us, I'm sure. So where is the photo of Legend Nisha? I think Lorelai can help you with that, Dennis. She'll send you a message and let you, you know. Hi, Lorelai from Meme. Did everybody say hello to Kuya Dave? You know, he's a rock star and a musician in his own right. He's not as handsome as some of us, but that's all right. We like him anyway. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry. Never mind, Dennis. And to be honest, I don't remember the call. I was probably in bed, you know. Taxier, love, rope, duct tape. Yes, you making a list? What did I miss, Nisha? Dennis was wondering what you looked like. Taser. Oh, taser. Taser, love, rope, and duct tape. Duct tape is good. Rope is good, but I like duct tape better. It's cheaper usually. Lorelai says, hello, meme. What is up tonight? I was watching the news. If you want, I can send a photo to Lorelai. All right. That'd be good, Nisha. Dennis is just curious, and you know he's respectful. Yes, that is better. What, the taser or the duct tape? Future Miss India, you got that right. Oh, Anisha, so now you have a photo. Well, she should have a school photo. Lorelai says she's pretty, smart and pretty. No, Dennis. Well, you never know, Nisha. I mean, some of the smartest women to come out of India have been beauty pageant winners and stuff like that. So it's not like, No. I'm up, Lorelai. Meme says he's up. He's awake. He's going. Pat says, nice. Good morning, everybody. She's asking you either you're up or you didn't go to bed, one of the two. Pat says, beautiful women from India. I would agree with that. I would agree. The men are ugly. India's kind of like the Philippines. Have you noticed that? And I don't know why. But the women are really pretty, but the men are ugly as toads. Same thing in the Philippines. The women are pretty, but the men are ugly as toads. Unlike in America, the men are handsome in America, and the women are just, I wonder why that is. It's 5:30 here. My whirlpool is calling. Nice. It's really early bird. Pat says, yes, I agree with you. But I wonder why that is. Haven't you never noticed that? That what country has both good-looking men and women in it? It's like America. All of us American men are the good-looking ones, and the women are eh. But you go to India and Asia, and it's the opposite. Why is that? That was funny, John, but I don't doubt that. Pat agrees. The early worm catches the other worm. Yes. You'll be home, so you're coming home early? Yeah, German men are ugly, buddy. I hate to tell you this. I finalized my work now. Good. Thanks, Nisha. Yeah, I know. Pretty scary, huh? But isn't that kind of interesting? It's just kind of interesting how that works. Well, I have German blood, but I'm an American. That's why I'm good looking. If I lived in Germany, I'd be ugly because the women are pretty. See what I mean? And get that? So, they are kind of attractive. Yeah, you know, just saying, just saying, you know. But it's just an interesting concept. It's kind of like birds. You guys know which bird is the prettier bird? It's the male bird, right? The male bird is the pretty bird. The ugly bird is the female. Did you guys know that? I gotcha. You got my back? You gotcha. Yeah, but I put the American spin on the German heritage. And that's what makes it better. But it is just interesting. Because I hate to say it and I hate to pick on them, but Filipino, and Dennis, I know you agree with me, Pat. I know you guys all agree with me. Filipino men are truly ugly. I mean, they're ugly little men. I mean, they're, eh. Do they have any of them that are good looking? Is there, okay, maybe in Germany they're 50-50 or 40-60, but in the Philippines it's like 99-1, you know? The other half is Italian. I think Italian men are ugly, and I think a lot of Italian women are ugly. So they got that big weird ass nose that kind of does this. Italian women kind of got that big nose. There you go. Yeah, you know. So, I don't know. You like that meme? All right. All right. All right, my friends, let's start winding this down. If you haven't given us a thumbs up tonight, please do. Filipinos like feminine men. Filipinos, the boys, are like feminine to me. Well, they are. They're what we'd call Nancy boys. They're not very manly, you know. They're just not very manly. I don't think so. All right, everybody. If you didn't give us a thumbs up tonight, go ahead and do it. Remember Lorelei's thing. We're fundraising to buy food for some poor families in the Philippines. If you guys ever want to donate to our PayPal for that, please do. We're going to be live again tomorrow at the birthday party. So you guys join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. my time, which is, many hours earlier than this. Sent you 2 new photos. Nice. All right. I'll have to look at them in a minute. My thing's dead. So, all right, everybody, we appreciate y'all. Thank you all for being here. And take care. And we will see everybody tomorrow. And Nisha, if I can, I'll talk Lorelei into going live Saturday night. Maybe you'll be up and around. So, good night, clowns. Good night, meme. We appreciate you, buddy. Good night, everybody. Take care. Sleep well. Let me find the off button. Where the hell did the off button go? Oh, here it is.